Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Real Talk in Black and White with the real Team Williams.
What's happening, everybody? I'm Roosevelt Williams.
And I'm Tanya Williams.
And this is the Real Team Williams in black
and white.
Oh, my. This is the show where we transparent, getting y'all all the opening information in our lives and letting y'all know how a relationship and a marriage should be to make it. Yeah.
Or break it.
That too, you know what I'm saying? Everything in a marriage not peaches and cream, y'all. And this episode stems off of a question that came about from the last show. And I want to start off by saying I want to thank everybody that took the time out to watch the show. We had real good numbers starting out, man. And I think we're going to make this thing grow, man. So we're going to continue to try to bless y'all with a little bit of good stuff. And see how y'all can make y'all situation work. Like I say, opposites attract. You got the evangelist, minister, and the blues cycle. Can you dig that? Alright. The question that was brought up was, y'all make marriage look fun, easy, and I want my marriage to be just like y'all. How can I get my marriage like y'all's? Well, sugar,
you don't want it to be like this.
It's hell high water over here, man. Y'all think Hurricane Ida was something.
We don't wake up like this.
It's hard, man. It'll be a dog and a cat fight, man. You better listen to me, man. So, hey, man, a book is worth 1,000 words, and don't just look at the cover. You got to open the pages and read chapter to chapter. You know what I'm saying? This episode right here is one we like to call Champaign life. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, everything look like champagne. But in reality, you got that for some real live water on your hand. You dig what I'm saying?
Not even Aquafina. We got purified. The knockoff version.
The knockoff stove brand version. Okay, you dig that? Hey, man. But for real, all right, marriage, as we can tell you, in our marriage, it's a 50-50 go around. You know what I'm saying? You know, I put in my input. And she put in her input. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll be right. Sometimes I'll be wrong. I ain't scared to admit when I'm wrong. And I make sure I tell her that. You know what I'm saying? Because I want her to know that.
You do?
I ain't telling you that. Hey, man, we just gonna deal with it. I ain't got time, man, to apologize. See? That sounded good on paper. This ain't the Huxtables, y'all. So, make a long story short, man. Make a long story short. It's about give and take. And it's about everybody put in their ideas and go with the one that work. I can't tell you how many times we fail. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give y'all a demonstration towards the end. That's what all this about. Give y'all a little small demonstration. But I'm going to tell y'all, in our marriage, it's a pouring into each other marriage. You dig what I'm saying? When I was doing my music and everything 100. First coming out, my biggest supporter, my biggest stronghold person was my wife. Oh man, she believed in me and she pushed me. Even though she ain't like some of the things that I did. She pushed me. So with her building me up in that, you know, she always prayed for me when I get out on that road, you know what I'm saying? Anytime I go, she made sure Big Daddy was straight. Let me take my glasses off. She made sure Big Daddy was straight. Yeah, that's why I wasn't with that. But she always, you know, used to make sure my house was in order, make sure all my bills were paid. So when I left and came home, I came home to a comfort zone. You see what I'm talking about? I ain't come home to all healing and stuff breaking loose and all that good stuff. But it was wonderful. Now, on her end, after I started getting it and the music started taking off, my baby wanted to find her purpose. Tell them about that.
Well, it was several different things. I decided I wanted to go back to school. I had always wanted to be a mortician. And anyway, listening to my stepdad when I was in college, my first year, he was like, you know, you're not going to be able to do that. That's for a man. It's going to be hard for you to find a job, this and that. So, you know, I listened to that instead of doing what I really wanted to do and believing in myself. So eventually, like most people, I took a bunch of classes. I had one semester before, you know, I graduated. And because I didn't like it, I quit. and never went back. So
No.
I was probably in my early 30s, and
Yeah.
the kids had their things going, and he had his singing going, and I felt like, well, I don't have anything going on. Let me get in the game and do something for me. So I decided I was going to go back to school for that.
Mm-hmm.
And we couldn't do it because he was gone every weekend. The boys, all the kids were smaller then. Gosh, Braden was probably T-ball, and they were small.
Man,
so somebody had to be there to get them off the bus and all that still. So it just was not going to work. So it wasn't my time. So
we'll go from the mortician to, what was your second venture? You wanted to be a Zumba instructor?
Oh no, I did that. Okay, so yes, I was gonna do Zumba for Jesus
And she
at
thought
the church.
I was gonna be her guinea pig. Is you crazy?
And so I did. I went and I got certified. It took an entire weekend, and it was hard. I mean, because we did it 10 hours a day nonstop. I think we had a 30-minute lunch, but I did it, and I was excited about it and loved it for a minute. I had my whole routine that we were going to teach classes at the church and everything. He eventually, initially, he made fun of it, talking about, this ain't no workout, y'all are just dancing. So I brought him in the kitchen to do my first routine before I tried it out
my big self, y'all.
on anybody at church. And when I say he was just sweating, he was pouring wet. So anyway, long story short, I did Zumba for what, maybe about a year?
Yeah, you did Zumba for a year.
I did Zumba for about a year, but I just couldn't reach Jesus with that. I mean, even though it was, at the church, and I couldn't, it still wasn't, something wasn't there.
Well, I tell you one thing with the Zumba, I know it wasn't there, and I wasn't going to let it be, because she had me in that kitchen. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. See, I was trying to be supportive and help her with her Zumba. This woman trying to kill me, y'all. She was trying
No
to
pain,
kill
no
me.
gain.
For you.
For everybody. That's
No,
why
for
you
you
take
and
it.
the Zumba folk. That ain't my thing. I walk and lift
why
weights.
Why would you pay me to teach you something that you're not going to get
I'm not
anything
gonna
out
pay.
of it?
I'm not gonna pay you that.
Well, you're not going to attend my class, sir. It's
I-
not free.
I
I don't
pro-
do anything for
I
free.
wasn't
with
planning
Jesus.
on doing it. No way. That's what I'm telling you. But I went above and beyond, and I
Sir, you can still get this invoice.
don't want. Anyway, I went above and beyond. I helped my baby with her almost killing me. But that wasn't it, though. That wasn't it. See, and so I was still singing. And did my second CD, everything was jumping, man. We getting the children growing up. And she had another venture. What the other
was it?
one?
I went to school. That wasn't
It was mortician. It was mortician. Then it was Zumba.
Oh, I started working at the church.
Well,
Part-time. Because that's when I was still at the power company.
that's where she found her purpose at.
So,
Tell her about that.
yeah, so we started going to church.
On the
great
regular.
church, great family. We made great people there, and
Mm-hmm.
so I started serving heavily. When I say heavily, I was there like maybe 4 nights a week, more so, and I loved it, honestly, and that's how I knew that was my calling. But I think we were there like 4, close to 5 years, and I was over the finances there. And even though I did that professionally, that was not my passion. I agreed to do that to help them because they needed somebody. Long story short, I was burnt out. It was a gifting, but it's not my calling. So still, I did not want to do that any longer.
Right.
So it's important that you know the difference. Just because you have a gift does not mean that that's your calling too. So long story short, while we were there, I found this school and I wanted to attend.
Well, before we get there, hold on, before we get there, and that's a good thing.
But
Stay
I was
right
going
there.
to tell them that you said it wasn't time. We didn't.
No.
go there.
Hold it right there before you get there. Now, fellas, what I need y'all to understand is, in a household, if both people in the household are not growing, then guess what? Something ain't right. If you the only one growing, homeboy, and your old lady ain't growing, then you ain't doing your job as a man. And ladies, if you sitting up watching your man go get this money, go doing this and this, and you ain't doing nothing but spending money, looking crazy, then guess what? Then you gonna be, it's gonna be a bad thing, because once it's split down the middle, and it's gonna split. Somebody gonna have something, somebody ain't. That's why everybody getting mad talking about, well, she took half and half and half. Well, if you got a whole bunch, half don't even much matter. You dig what I'm talking about? So with that being said, I told my wife, make a long story short, we was at the church, and she was working, man, like government meeting. I just told her, because she was bringing all this stress on me, and I told her, you're going to have to let that ride. Because she had a problem saying no. She would not say no for
I ain't
nothing
got that problem no more. It's my favorite word, ain't it?
Yeah, I had to teach her. I had no. And that was my favorite word.
You don't need it. You don't need an explanation. It's a full sentence. No.
That's it. So I told her, well, I'm going to trim the fat. And I told her straight up, if you don't trim the fat, I'm going to trim the fat. You're doing too much. And at the same time, by her doing the finances, it's a difference between going to church and getting filled and working at the church. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of people don't understand with church people, church is a business. So while you at church, when you're in the background and you working, you ain't getting fed like you supposed to. I'm sorry. You have to have different Bible studies and all that good stuff. And our pastor at the time, he was pretty good at that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you want to get fed and get your Sunday spirit going to get you ready for the week. You know what I'm talking about? But you don't do that because you're working. And I just told you got to let some things go. Deal with one thing at a time. And make a long story short, she had to let some things go. God bless everybody. It was like a couple of situations. We had to get ready to set up shop. And my baby, I'll never forget, she got a little disappointed. And at one thing, and one thing led to another. The folks was like, well, I tell you what, if you ain't going to do this right here, then you sit down. You know, you sit down. We don't need to do nothing. Don't pray for nobody. Don't do nothing. You just gonna sit in the corner. I remember that. And my back messed up, and I looked at my wife. She was hurting, and I'm in church now, and my whole attitude changed now. You know, I cut the food quick, and like I said, when I saw my baby do that, I told my wife, I said, baby, don't no man dictate what God got for you. You dig what I'm saying? I felt that spirit moving to her, man, because she was just so fired up in the thing dealing with the church. I want to give a shout out to Earl Patton. You know what I'm saying? He poured into her, Miss Mama, Grandma Laura McClure. She poured into my wife, man. And my girl Latoya Mary came along down the line. That's my sister. She poured into her right now. But like I say, she had a strong suit with them. And I told my wife, we're not gonna stop right there. So now, since we put that right there on that part, go ahead with the school thing when you ran across the school.
Well, I was working for the power company, and I still wanted to go back to school. And so I found this school that was a biblical school, and I brought it to him. He's like, nah, I don't think you need to go there. We don't even go to church there. So I was just like, okay. But I went ready, because with him, you got to have the who, what, when, where, and how before you even present your idea. Right. So I had printed off all that. I was ready, but he was just like, we don't even go to church there. I don't think you need to go right now. So I was like, okay. And sometimes no doesn't mean no. It just means not right now. Right. Fast forward 4 or 5 years down the line, like I said, we moved, and we were still going to that church. It was a good 45-minute drive from our house, because we literally moved across town, which made it harder for us to stay as connected, because, you know, you have meetings, you know, during the week, Wednesday Bible study, you know, and trying to take the boys here and there and to sports events, and then make it to church from work and all that. It was just too much. So some things kind of fell apart at the church when they set me down, and so long story short, I changed churches. And it was at the church that had the school that I had presented to him a couple years ago. Well, he was not ready to leave the church, so I said, I understand that. You know, I would never ask you to leave anywhere you're being fed, but I'm no longer growing spiritually here, so I'm going to go visit this other church. And so I did. And so for a few months, I was at that church by myself, and him and the kids was going to the other church. I remember praying. Yeah, and I remember praying. I was like, God, I know this ain't your will for us to be going separately, so, you know, just make a way for us to come back together. And eventually he did. But I brought that school back around. I got involved in church. I joined the church. I started serving. He's like, you know what? I think you should go. And so I went for 2 years. I learned a lot. I served a lot. I did a lot.
Now, hold up. How many boys end up going on here to the church? When she got into school, it was mandatory for her to go to the church because the school and the church go hand in hand.
No, it wasn't. We had other people that attended the church that did. Attended school that don't belong to the church.
I thought you had to go there in order to do the credits and all
You
that.
assumed that. I didn't. I never stated that.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Ain't that something? Wow. Oh, wow. Anyway, but it was cool though, because when me and the fellas went down, hey, we had a good time. So, like I said, make a long story short, her education was growing us and at the same time growing our household, our finances, everything was getting in line. But it was a journey. That was just part of the journey in the process, because now, with her pointing to me for all them years, it was time for me to point to her. Now, go ahead. Finish tell me. Go ahead.
Long story short, went to school, done a mission trip, graduated during the first half of COVID, didn't have a real graduation, which I'm still a little bitter about that.
But that was the saddest thing I've seen in my life. We was in the yard, man.
Don't rain on my parade, okay? I'm already a little tender about that. I paid all that money to sit out in my front yard and swat flies.
In front of the rose bushes.
And didn't even have my name roll up on the screen or anything saying that I graduated.
They didn't call a name. I called it, though. I called it. And all my family, we were rooting on, God dog. Didn't I call your name, baby?
Anywho.
She tearing up already, y'all. Look at God. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Anyway, I want a refund for my... for my...
The Lord give it and you can't get it back!
For my graduation fees, I would like, if you're listening, I would like a refund.
Oh, Lord Jesus,
Anyway.
Jesus. But my baby, she served, man. She served. She went all around the city. She was serving. And I remember she was scared to pray. And what I used to put out there, I used to put on the spot.
Oh, I hate
They
that.
say, anybody want to pray? I say, my baby, she'll pray. Because see, I started praying. I go take off and talk about anything, get country. And they used to be laughing. But it was some sincere prayers, though. And my baby, she used to hate that bad. But now, she got that Brenda Jean spirit. She don't know when to stop praying. I just be like, hey, I be looking at my clock like this. Showtime. And but my baby, she powerful, man, with it. So when we start growing into her position, let me tell y'all about my wife, y'all. My baby, she came out being a life coach for the young ladies. She been an inspiration. She came out, she evangelist, she going to do speaking engagements. She did this one engagement, y'all, I promise, right over in Midfield. And she was the only white lady there. You did?
I'm always the only white lady.
Well, you white chocolate, baby. You that white chocolate. You understand me? And she got up in there, man, and she was nervous. She had been practicing.
This was my first sermon or first speaking engagement, first anything.
Yes. Now, let me tell y'all, when God puts you in your purpose, y'all, and get you right, just shut down the house. My baby got it was how many speakers was on there? Cause Candace Sullivan, she was the MC. My girl Peggy Sue, she was the MC. And
Candace Sullivan.
I'm sorry, Candace. What's Candace's last name? Peggy Sue. What's Candace's last name?
You ain't gotta put people's out there.
Well, that's my homegirl.
Okay, well just carry on.
Shout out to my girl. Anyway, and man, they had a whole panel lined up. The women to talk, and each one of them supposed to take turns. I promise y'all, man, I can't make this up. My mom was there. I videotaped it. My wife got up, and, man, she went to talking, and she shut the building down. The Holy Ghost went to moving. The women got to jumping up and shouting and talking and talking. I'm just sitting there looking like, oh, man. I went looking for some spoons, y'all. Because I'm from the Baptist church. When the folk get to jumping too hard and get to talking and tongue too hard, you supposed to take a spoon and put it in their mouth so they won't have a seizure and break the teeth and all this. And that's what I was taught. So I was looking for spoon, but they ain't had no spoon. And like I say, couldn't nobody else talk. It was over. It was over. The Lord had moved. And right then and there, I knew that my baby had an anointing from God, and I had to pour into that. Shoot, man, for real. Boy. So with her praying for me, then when she started getting that all.
Let them know it ain't always been
Holy
easy.
all.
Because well, never mind. I'm not gonna tell my secrets. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, tell them about the time I wake up, you rubbing all on the door and all on my head and stuff.
Well, you have to do that. Spirits travel. And I ain't trying to be in here looking at no demons or no anything else and all that. And, sometimes you need a little oil slapped on you. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I anoint myself. And
well, she's right, because when I go to these clubs, it be some spirits up in there.
Jezebel, honey.
I ain't gonna don't talk about my fans like
they
that.
Jezebel,
Don't talk about my fans like I got the best fans in the world, so you leave my fans
this ain't
alone.
about you. We being real here.
Hey, don't mess up my money. Don't do that now.
I ain't trying to mess up your money. I'm trying to make them whole and happy and healthy.
Anyway, but it be some spirit there. My baby, she pray them all, Jack. You understand me? That's my little people. She been up by. She be buying this. She be looking. She got this little look. Oh, like, shut up, girl. That was me. That was me, girl. I got a killer in here, y'all. Anyway, my wife, she got this look. See that little look? She can't. Her facial expression tell it out. And she be looking at folks so crazy.
And I ain't trying to change that. I've changed too much, baby. You gonna get it how you get it. When you get that look, don't you know I mean business? They gonna get it too. Come on with it.
Hold up, now, little shout. I mean, I know you mean business. I just felt like she tried to, big girl. He just did like her some kind of little square song. I told you, girl, they call me Big Rose Timbo. But today I'm Roosevelt Williams. Do not come.
Okay, you're getting off subject. Circle back around. Reel it back in.
She get gangster, y'all. That's why I'm so crazy about this girl. I just love her. But anyway, with her doing her thing, man, I'm so proud of her because, like I say, fellas, you got to pour into them and give them that purpose, man, so they can feel important, even if, you know what I'm saying, the stuff that they doing really is not important. But in my book, everybody got some importance in everything.
Shade there. What's up? Say what now?
That's how you do it, fella. You
No, but we ain't just gonna act like you just didn't say, even though what they doing ain't important.
Well, we ain't gonna talk about how you just tried the big boy, big girl.
Serving the Lord. That's some big stuff. That's heavy. Okay, I'm trying to build up the kingdom. That's
Anywho, like I was saying, y'all. But fellas, real talk, build them up. Find out what they like. Some women, if you cook good, guess what? Go cook. Make some money. If you're good at talking, be a mentor. You know what I'm saying? Find something. Find your purpose. And fellas, help them find their purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't all about you, man. Stop making it all about you. They more than just raising these kids. And you know what I'm saying? Because women, it's a headache, man. I promise you. We don't want to deal with them little hollering bad children. They do. They have to deal with it.
You have to have an outlet, too, because
they got to have
if all you're doing is going to work and you have no outlet all the time, eventually somebody's going to get the outpour of that.
That's right.
So
that's where your arguments come in there, because everything gets built up, and then when they release, oh man, it's like a tsunami. You understand me?
And
so,
while we're on that, let's just say that, okay, so for women, when we vent, we just need to say what we need to say and get it off our chest, so I feel better. You know, a lot of times that's why we have girlfriends to do that. And it's hard to vent to the men. Like, y'all are fixers naturally. So when we vent to you, you're like, well, who do I need to come see up your job? Do I need to come up? No, bro. I just need you to listen to what I'm saying.
Fella, you see how I just did that? Learn that. That's one of the best secrets. Watch
I know you're not paying no
I'm
attention
going to give
to
you
what
a
I said.
demonstration. While they venting and letting it out.
And he's gotten good. He cannot listen to me, but yet rattle back every single word that I said
That's
to
right.
him.
Old man told me a long time ago, boy, the best women that a man got against a woman is just shut up. Just don't say that. Don't. Sometimes you got to get off like a Rottweiler or gorilla, but sometimes just be quiet. Let them talk. Let them out. Because she got to let it out on somebody, something, and you her punching bag. She my punching bag, and I'm her punching bag. And we sharpening each other iron, you know what I'm saying?
But because we got those outlets,
that's right.
It helps. It takes the pressure off of me always snapping at you or coming at you or vice versa.
Now, you don't let your outlet be the reason that you lose your man. All right? Don't be going to take all your business to these old Jezebel women, because some of your girlfriends' friends ain't about nothing. They Jezebels too, you understand me? They're misery love company.
Yeah.
So women, be careful who you pouring into, because they'll give you all the wrong information. Hey, you looking at your man sideways, and you mess around there and be over there miserable with them, and next thing you know, they be knocking on your man door trying to get some of this champagne life. You see what I'm talking about?
Flock together. That's why you got to get with people. If you're single
From the same
or married, you need to be hanging with other married couples. You don't need to be hanging with somebody single because they can't give you advice as far as being in your marriage.
That's right. And let me put this out here. Women, stop listening to your mama. I ain't saying all mamas bad. But if your mama ain't had no man in 50 years, ain't been on no date in 50 years, don't go to her, listen to her talk about her last man or her last problem. Because guess what? You going to be 50 years down there just like your ugly mama. By herself. Miserable. Just, oh man, sadly. You understand me? Find somebody else. Stop. You ain't got no man because you listen to your mama who ain't got no man. And she want to tell you how I'm good at. Listen.
You're passionate about this subject, ain't you?
Yes, I am.
Go on, give them some more then.
Yes, I am. Because her mama tried to talk to me. Tell her talking about, Mama, I love her. I love her to death. But she said he just too good to be real. Mama, I'm 100. She found out I was 100 and she loved me now. But listen what I tell you now. Anyway, with that being said, y'all, our time is coming up to an end. We're only gonna give you 30 minutes because we gotta keep it going. So I gotta give y'all my demonstration on how to fill up each other. You see what I'm saying? Pour into each other. Alright? Now I want you to come with this and follow me because it's gonna go kind of fast, okay? This is your wife. This is my wife Tanya. This is me, and this is life. This is our happy house. Ain't got nothing in it, right? It's an empty house. You see a little something at the bottom. Let me get that out of there.
We got 3 minutes.
Ain't got nothing in it. Check this out. This is what my wife brings to the table. This is what I bring to the table. Alright, when my wife decided we're going to get married, she decided to follow me and submit. So she got what she said. I'm going to pour into you, babe. I'm going to follow you because I believe in you. She gave me everything she had. Not money financially, but she gave me everything, her spirit. She gave me everything, her blessings, and she prayed for me all over the book. And that filled me up. That got me where I was going. Guess what? When everything was pushing, everything was with it, I come home, my wife, she ain't got nothing. She empty. So guess what? She won't not find her purpose. I'm over here full. My music going good. I'm out of town. I'm getting it, man. The money good. She empty. You got to look at this woman. She done gave you everything. She pouring it to you. She got the children. She got the house. And she trying to take care of you. She's empty, fellas. So guess what? Find her purpose. You got to pull back into her now. You got to pull back into her now. Now, once you pull back into her, make it hard. Guess what? Once you do that right there, fellas, once you do that, them little blessings going to start coming. When the blessings start coming and the overflow kick in, that's when it all come together. You ready? That's when it all come together. And that equal a whole house. Can you dig that? Can you dig that? I know you can. Now when the house full like that right there, you ain't worried about no divorce and worried about nobody taking half. Because you don't care. That's when you're doing it. That's when you're making it work. And that's when you know God is in the midst of it. And God really, really, really is the head of your household. Can you dig that? So pour into each other. That's the only way you're going to make it. Only way you're going to make it. Stop going on the outside. Talk to each other. And get the loving on each other. All right? Now with that being said, we're going to give y'all the opportunity in the comments. I don't know which way the comments are. But leave some comments. Tell me how you like it. Tell me and baby girl any question that you may have. And we're going to address one or two during the week. That's a new thing we're going to start doing. And like I say, please share. Share. Like and share. Baby.
The Real Team Williams page.
All day long. Black and white. Real talk. Can you dig that? All right. I'm Roosevelt Williams.
And I'm Tanya Williams.
And this has been The Real Team Williams in black
and white.
All right. See y'all next week, man. Love y'all.